welcome Martin, who is going to explain to us about how he's using Liquidsoap and developing something which is called Showergel, which I'm curious to learn about. Thank you.
Okay, well, so hello everybody. I'm really happy to present this to you today. I'm not surprised that it's, as we'll say, Tony, yet another broadcasting system. So Showergel is meant to run aside Liquidsoap, so I will explain where the idea comes from, what are the design principles behind, and where it's going, and how it integrates with Liquidsoap. And I will just start with a short disclaimer. It's a bit early, actually, to present this. I released the version 0.1 yesterday, but it's will be quickly moving up this year because, well, I need it for my own radio, and that's where the story starts. So I'm my daytime job is a Python programmer, and during my spare time, I'm volunteering for a local community radio. It's Radio Campus Grenoble. It is in the French Alps, and it's a small FM station. And like all small FM stations, it's well, they are kind of all the same. We have like 10,000 music tracks, a few dozen shows a week, and a studio where we play the shows or not. And I can't see the slide. Well, we'll see how it goes. So this is the context of this project, community radio. I mean, I have a computer where I will run Showergel and Liquidsoap. It's currently running Rivendell, if you guys know it, and we are about to replace it. I think by the end of the month, we'll be able to replace Rivendell with Liquidsoap and Showergel. So the bottom line is that I've heard many other community radios in the area complaining about their broadcasting system because usually nobody knows about it. Generally, it's installed by someone someday, and everybody hope it works, and that's it. But I have seen radios where this guy just left for something else, and well, it still works, but nobody knows why. So we need something simple, something that you don't need weeks or more to understand and do what you want to do, especially. We also prefer if it's free. Well, depending on the radio, it can be free as in free beer or as in freedom. In our case, it's both, especially about freedom. We are really interested in having a system that broadcasts and programs everything according to our choices. But the bottom need is simplicity. And there is one thing that is simple and that everybody knows about. It's files and folders. So my goal here is to have something where you just have a hierarchy of folders representing your shows, your music, your jingles, whatever else. And if you drop a file there, it goes to a broadcast and for the next scheduled time. So you will say that's the exact use case for Liquidsoap, and that's what I've discovered last summer. So I was really happy to discover Liquidsoap because, well, you can install it anywhere. It's pretty quick. If you run only on files, you can easily back up everything, which means you can also easily restore. So you can even have almost for free a test stream, which is quite unique in broadcasting software. And it's really interesting to test before upgrading. Like I said, it's both free and flexible, so looks perfect. And well, I think the final workshop today will detail more about how you can do this with Liquidsoap. So I will instead speak about what Liquidsoap does not. After my first tries with Liquidsoap, I was quite happy about the results. So I had a test radio running, was pretty good. But for an FM station, I was missing a few things. So the first thing was, well, the daemon, running Liquidsoap as a daemon, especially to have it running at boot time. Well, there was already a project about this, but there were more sorry, there were more complicated things like logging the tracks we are playing. We need to keep a log of what is broadcasted. We need to extract statistics from this and so on, and that's not included in Liquidsoap. I was also really happy about the Telnet commands because even if the basic Liquidsoap script can handle the main program and the main schedule of shows, sometimes we want to broadcast something just once. And usually it's when people is not available to type the command on the Telnet server. So we need something to just tell the computer to say, okay, play this at this time and get away doing something else. The harbor is also a wonderful feature of Liquidsoap, but Liquidsoap itself only knows about one user, and it's not great to share passwords. I would also like to be able to restrict the broadcasting time per user. And obviously, I think everybody knows this here, Liquidsoap does not have buttons, which goes a bit against the simplicity that I'm looking for. So that's why Showergel was created. And it should have buttons for these features. So you should be able to click a little bit to schedule your program and things like that. That's really the idea. I'm also borrowing an important principle from Liquidsoap, which is the modularity. So in Showergel, you just plug what you need. If you don't want to manage users with Showergel, don't. And that goes on for all any features. So you can just install it and plug what you need depending on your script. Like I said before, it relies only on files. Especially for the database, this means that I'm using SQLite. So again, it's files, files, files. And for a small radio, you don't need much more. It works very well. Still on the simplicity axis, it means that it will be always just one Python process, one that goes along each Liquidsoap stream. The idea is that the Python process will do everything. It will be the scheduler worker process. It will be replying to HTTP requests. It will be waiting for Liquidsoap metadata and things like this. But so it does it all, and that's enough again for just one stream. And I would like to keep Showergel small. So I'm not planning to include a music library. I think that many people have done enough music libraries already. So basically, any library that has a command line interface can be plugged in Liquidsoap. So I'm reckoning Beats. Have a look at their project. It's really full-featured. But I think it can work with others, so I'm not planning on this. And the last point is, I think, a major difference with existing systems. With Showergel, you will have to edit the Liquidsoap script. So this means that compared to, say, full-featured broadcast systems like LibreTime or Azuracast, those systems are usually hiding Liquidsoap completely, and they are almost a front end to Liquidsoap. With Showergel, you still have to edit Liquidsoap if you want to add sources or outputs or change the source's priority, things like that. So the idea is that you still sometimes have to put your hands on the Liquidsoap script. So I will show you how it looks like, a scene from Liquidsoap. Like I said, the very earliest version has been released yesterday, and it's a Python package, so you can pip install Showergel. This will install two commands: Showergel itself, which is the Python process I was talking about, and a small installer that will create the empty database, a small configuration file, and it can also create systemd units. So you can use both Showergel and your Liquidsoap script as systemd services. So they will start at boot, and it goes forever, like you said earlier. So that's it. You can just install it to have the daemon, but there's more. So for example, it's waiting on the localhost 2345 ports by default. And for example, if you want to save your metadata, you just have to post it from Liquidsoap. So it goes very well with the onMetadata operator. Similarly, you can use it to authenticate user on the harbor. So here I'm showing an example with input harbor, and you just provide an authentication function, sorry. So this function looks a bit complicated, but it's just posting the user and password to Showergel again. And if it answers OK, then you're admitted to the harbor. So that's pretty quick to integrate to an existing script. For the scheduler, it will be even simpler because you just have to enable the Telnet server, and then they will be able to discuss together. So the scheduler is not here yet, but I know a good Python package for that already, so it would be very quickly integrated, especially because I need it quite soon. So like I said, I just released the very first version, which does not embed a complete web interface for now. So right now, if you want to add users, for example, you have to do it with curl, but that's the next thing I'll be working on next month. So I can just give you a short roadmap of what's coming up with Showergel. So first thing, like I said, is working on the interface. I would like also to package Showergel with a kind of getting started Liquidsoap script. You know, the very classic one with the fallback with the music, shows, request, and all, with many comments. I think that will be interesting for newcomers. Then we'll work on the scheduler integration, which will be basically making a web interface for the advanced Python scheduler, which does exactly what we need here. Maybe at this point, I will have some fixes to do. And on the more far future work would be to have something to install everything on a brand new Linux machine. Something like an Ansible script that you start and bam, you get Liquidshop and Soap and Showergel both ready to run with the basic folders and on, so you can have very quickly a running radio. And well, maybe you will have other suggestions. I think that the scheduler part might evolve much. That's the typical thing where things get complex quickly, but we will see. So like I said, right now it's pretty new. So I'm open to suggestions, comments, queries, contributions, and all of this. So you can, I'm providing the links to, so it's on GitHub under my account so far. If you have suggestions about how could I document this, I'm wondering about how to publish the documentation, especially as it's very often tied to the Liquidsoap documentation. Well, there you go. Thank you for listening, and hope to have plenty new things to present next time.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it sounds really, really interesting, this project. So is there any question about it, or? Yeah, so feel free to ask questions to the presenters. It's supposed to be an interactive workshop, or you don't hesitate to ask questions. Yeah, David, are you?
Yes, I'm trying to enable my webcam, but I can ask my question already. Well, it's not really a question, but a remark. I'm amazed that to see a mention of Liquidsoap.
Yeah.
I actually had completely forgotten about it, and I remembered only yesterday preparing my talk about this old part of the project. So perhaps you can comment whether
Well,
you actually
Liquidsoap,
used it, or if you just got some information about it that you emulated.
I tried Liquidsoap at first because it's still in the Liquidsoap sources. So if you've never tried it, for everybody else, Liquidsoap is a GTK interface for well, the Telnet server basically. And my very first idea was to make a modern Liquidsoap with a GTK3 and things like that. And I was quickly considering the web interface because it could be easier to, well, it's easier for me to program, but it's completely inspired from this. Yeah. Yes, it's basically Liquidsoap with an additional database.
I think it's really good that you do it on your own, and because the Liquidsoap team cannot do everything, and I considered this was a mistake to do this because we could not maintain it in the long run. So I think it's a very good sign for the community if people like you decide to develop this kind of side project as part of an ecosystem.
It's true that this kind of feature does not belong to something that manages stream of sound or video like Liquidsoap. So I think it's good to keep this separation of concerns. So well, I will see how it goes. But like I said, I'm very motivated because we are using it in our radio. So the FM antenna has to broadcast something. Huh?
Yeah, it's the best motivation. Good luck with the project.
Thank you, David. I've seen a question about beats. Yes, for the music library beats, the biggest shortcoming of beats is that it's only working on the command line, so it's not easy. I made a kind of Dropbox where you can drop files to add them automatically to the beats library. But it has a shitty web interface, let's be honest. But Beats is wonderful because it has complete metadata and it's joining everything with Music Brains. So you have very, very detailed information. And if you want to create, say, a playlist of 80s rock music, you can, even if your first tracks were not tagged correctly. So that's really great.
Okay, so one last quick question. So do you have other users or other potential users? Or
yeah, yes, because our station belongs to two federations. One is nationwide, and the other around the area. And it's always community stations, which are really they are all complaining about that broadcasting system. So I will definitely advocate this, and that's why I'm planning to make something that package it all very quickly. So I guess that would be some feedback if we get out of a lockdown ever. But
let's hope so. Okay, if there is no more questions, then thank you again very much.
Thank you, guys.